Hi and welcome. It is so wonderful to be with you here today. It is a glorious day in my neck of the woods, coming to you live from Germany. If you are watching live on Facebook, hi, great to be with you. Can I ask you a favor? Hit like, please, if you would like to get more notifications of these kind of energy reports live on Facebook, then hit the follow button and then you will automatically get notified every time we do an energy report. And if you are watching live on YouTube, buongiorno, guten Tag, wie geht's? Hello from Germany. If I can ask you to do the same, if you can like the video, and then above this video, you will see that there is a little bell. If you click on that, that will alert you to any notification of future videos that we do. I thought we would do this a little bit differently today. Normally I do a recorded video and you can then watch it at leisure. I thought today, why don't we do this live? We have technology at our fingertips. Why don't we play? Why don't we explore and see where we are? So wherever you are in the world watching here today, thank you for taking the time. And can you pop into the comment section where you're from? It would be wonderful to have a look and see where we are linking to here today. So just a very quick video, but there is such a lot that is happening just lately, and I thought it was appropriate before we go into the full moon tomorrow. I thought it was appropriate to just spend some time and just have a look and see what is going on. So we've got the full moon tomorrow on the 13th of September. I need to remember this date. It's also my wedding anniversary. And then we have Saturn that goes direct on the 19th of September. And these two energies, they might sound as if they're very, very different events, but they actually are so compatible, and they bring us such a lot of similar energy that it is worthwhile us spending some time just exploring what's going on over the next 2 weeks. So I'm sure that you have seen all the way through your social media over the last couple of days these two memes, that on the September the 9th, a portal opened up, a karmic portal opened up that closes on the 18th of September. And I thought, okay, let's have a look and see what is going on behind that, so that you understand how to work with this energy. So it's not just, oh, that's an interesting meme. There is some very real awareness behind that. And then you will have seen this meme as well, that Friday the 13th is a full harvest moon, which hasn't happened since 2000, and the next time we have it is going to happen in 2049. And everybody's saying that this is a particularly special harvest moon. So what does that mean? What is that actually about? So these are the two things that I'm going to be speaking about today. So let's start off with the harvest moon. Why is it called a harvest moon? Well, we always call the moon that is closest to the September equinox, we always call it a harvest moon. And just think about this for a moment, that this is the period that all the farmers in the northern hemisphere are now starting to harvest their crops. Everything that they planted in spring, that they've nurtured all the way through summer, now is the time that they are harvesting their crops. And what is actually interesting about this particular moon is that it's a micro moon. So we've heard all about the supermoon, when the moon is closest to the Earth's orbit, and so it appears huge in the sky. Well, the harvest moon is very interesting because it is at a time where it is furthest away from the moon's orbit, and so it appears much, much smaller. And because it's much smaller, it appears fuller for longer. And so this is the period that the farmers were able to work all night by the light of the moon, because the moon seemed to be fuller for longer. And if you look at it this weekend, it's not just going to be full for one day. It will have the illusion, the appearance of being being full for the entire weekend. And it has the illusion of rising at the same time in the same place in the sky for the next couple of days, because it is a micromoon and because it is furthest away from the Earth's orbit. So how do we work with a harvest moon? Well, we need to be aware, just like the farmers, that this is an energy where we are reaping what we have sown. And we need to have a look and see what has grown over our summer, what has been growing over the last couple of months, and what is it that we are harvesting. This is a period where we are asked very clearly to have a look, not just at our progress, but what was our process, to go into a bit of self-examination. Do we like the crops that we are harvesting at the moment? Do we like what it is that we are reaping? Because we need to look at the process that we have followed over the last couple of months, all the way through summer, actually. We need to look at the process that we have followed to see what it is that we have done to plant our crop, to nurture our crop, to protect our crop, so that we are happy with what it is that we have harvested. And if we're happy, great. What do we need to do that again so that we can repeat this success? And if we're not happy, to go back and have a look at the process and say, where in this process did I not do so good? Where do I need to tweak? Where do I need to pay attention? So harvest moon really is a period where it says, go into a space of self-reflection. Don't just be external. Go within and see what it is that you are harvesting, and whether you are harvesting a crop that you actually wanted, whether it is something that you really wanted to have at this point in time. So yes, be aware of what's happening on the outside, but it's an invitation for us to go within, to go within. Now it happens on a Friday the 13th, and the last time we had a full moon, a full harvest moon on Friday the 13th was way back in 2000. The next time that we have it is going to be in 2049. So you can see this is actually not a regular event. So sometime tomorrow, go out there and just stand underneath the moon and just breathe in this awareness that this is something that the last time it happened was 19 years ago, and the next time it's going to happen is in another 21 years. So just breathe in that moment, be mindful, just stand for a moment and pause and go into the space of reflection, because as I say, this is not going to happen for another 21 years. So it is a significant thing. As you know, I also do numerology, so let's have a quick look at the numerology of tomorrow, the 13th of the 9th, Friday the 13th, 2019. So if we look at the numerology of what tomorrow has in store for us, what we do in numerology, as you know, is we dilute the numbers. So we would add the 1 plus 3 gives us a 4. The 9 we leave because it's a single digit. And then we would add up the 2, the 0, the 1, and the 9. And that would give us a 12. In numerology, unless it's a master number, we work with single digits. So what we would do is we would add the 4 plus 9 gives us a 13, 1 plus 3 gives a 4. We add that 1 plus 2 and we end up with a 4 and a 3 energy. As you can see in numerology, we dilute, we dilute, we dilute, we dilute until we get to single digits. It's a Vedic system of arithmetic. And then what we do, of course, is we add up that 4 and that 3 and we come to a 7. So what kind of energy is with us tomorrow? We have a harvest moon. It's saying be aware and reflect. From a numerological perspective, It is an energy that is all about connection. It's about seeking. It's about searching. It's about connecting within. Now, how interesting is that it kind of echoes what we're being told with the event of the harvest moon. It's saying, go within, reflect, allow yourself to be in a space of introspection and reflection. You're going to hear that phrase again later in this video, introspection and reflection, because it is an energy where we are asked to connect to our spiritual selves, that inner wisdom, that inner voice, so that we can receive the guidance, we can receive the higher wisdom. But because it is a 13-4 and a 12-3 energy, it's not just about sitting under a tree and meditating and saying Om and expecting the wisdom of the universe just to drop into our laps like pennies. That 13-4 energy is an incredibly practical energy. It's hardworking, it's grounded, it's pragmatic. It's actually quite Saturn-like, which we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. So it is an energy that says, be mindful as you're working. Work with mindfulness. Move forward. Continue to do what it is that you do. Be grounded. Be aware. But don't just sit passively. This is a period of being in a space of action. And that 12-3 energy is an energy that says, let's be creative, let's be fun, let's be playful. It's a time of pregnancy and birthing and incubation, fabulous energy. And so often on our spiritual journey, we are just so very serious. You know, we've really got to take our consciousness and our spirituality really, really seriously. Well, this energy reminds you, come on, let's just have some fun. Let's just laugh. Let's just laugh. The one thing that all the gurus do is they laugh, they giggle, they play, they have fun. And so this is a reminder that says, yes, it is a very spiritual energy. Yes, let's go within. Yes, let's work. Let's not be passive. Let's be assertive and move forward. But above all, can we have a good time while we're doing it? I don't know about you, but that just sounds absolutely fabulous. We really need to get back to fun and laughter and enjoyment, because that's what it really is about. So now let's move on to this energy about the portal that's opening up on the 9th of the 9th and is closing on the 18th of the 9th. What is that about? So here's the thing, it is related to Saturn. And Saturn has been in retrograde since the 29th of April. So it's been a good 5 months of retrograde energy. And here's the good news, is that he ends his retrograde journey on the 19th of September. So it really is a period of celebration that Saturn is ending his retrograde journey. Now, it's interesting because you will have seen the memes about the palindrome. Well, palindrome is one of those energies that you can write one way and it's exactly the same if you write it in reverse. And look at that, 19th of the 9th, 19. It is the perfect palindrome. And for those of you who study energy, you will know that this creates such a beautiful harmonic. It creates a wave of such beautiful balance that is going out there. This is the power of the palindrome, is that it creates this beautifully balanced harmonic energy. For those of us who study astrology, for those of us who are mindful of numerology and the numbers, we believe that everything has an energy, everything has a vibration, it has a resonance. The name you say, the word you say, your voice gives everything power. Everything has form, everything has resonance, and numbers also have this resonance. So now when we're in this palindrome energy, it is creating a sphere of harmonic balance. And that is the power here. You've got to think that for the next couple of days, until we get out of the 19th of the 9th, 19, that we are in a space where there is just this balanced energy around us. And I'm sure that you can feel that if you sit in the silence, if you go within, you will start to feel this balanced energy starting to resonate and vibrate around you. And so this is the invitation of this period in time. Go into silence. Again, introspection and reflection. Go into silence and just be aware of the balance that is there, the waves of harmony that is there. But let's go a little bit deeper. Saturn in retrograde frightens a great many people because Saturn is known as the grief bringer. Saturn is known as slowing things down and closing doors. Saturn is this energy of obstacle and delay. And we often are in a space where we're trying so hard to get work done and trying so hard to get ahead. And in a Saturn retrograde, it can feel as if we're in suspended momentum. It can feel as if we're working incredibly hard, but those doors just aren't opening and we're not seeing the results. And it can be an exceptionally frustrating, very frustrating period. Now, we've been in this for the last 5 months, and I remember saying to a colleague yesterday, I don't think I have ever worked quite as hard in my life as I have this year. It's just been a monumental amount of work that we have got through. And I know that we are not unusual. So many people are saying that there's work without end, and we finish this mountain of work, and guess what? There's another mountain in front of us. And I know that so many people are feeling this way. Or other people are turning around and saying, you know what, I'm standing in this corridor and this door has closed, but the next door hasn't yet opened. Or every time I turn around, there just seems to be a delay and a delay and a delay. And I really feel like I'm in suspended momentum. And what Saturn does in a retrograde is its message to us is to get us to slow down. Because we often, when the doors are open, we charge through and we're in constant action and we really don't stop to breathe. We don't stop to smell the coffee or smell the roses. We just don't stop. We just power through and power through and power through. And sometimes Saturn is saying, can we just slow things down a little bit? I'm going to close this door for you a little bit. I'm going to put a bit of a delay. I'm going to put a bit of a barrier here because I want you to slow it down so that you go within and get your internal right before you can get out there and see the effect on the external. Saturn, when it goes into direct, is hardworking. It's a serving energy. It's slow and steady progress. But more importantly, Saturn's role in our life is not to bring us grief. It's not to bring us karma. It's not to say, oh, you just stay there and that's it, and, you know, suspended animation and get used to it. Saturn's role is to ask us to go within, harness that inner truth, that inner voice, that inner knowing. Connect with your wisdom, connect with your truth, connect with your higher self, connect with all that is first, and then go into action. And so if we find ourselves in a space where we're feeling like we're in the corridor between one door closing and another door opening, Saturn's messages to us is connect first, go within, know yourself first before you go into action. It's a very, very powerful message. It's a very frustrating message at times, but that's the real meaning of it. It's not to screw with us. It's not to sabotage us. It's not to frighten us. It's an invitation to go within. And I always think of Saturn in retrograde as the in-breath. And we need to slow it down and say, what is it that I'm breathing in? What is it that I'm breathing in? And be aware, and then before I breathe out, sit in the silence of that in-breath, so that when I do breathe out, that I can go into action. Between the in-breath and the out-breath, there is the gap. And that is where we find this energy of Saturn, that inner truth, that inner awareness, that inner consciousness that Saturn retrograde is inviting us to go into. So if you feel that you have been waiting to exhale, first of all, you're in good company. Half the world feels like that. But now that we are in this period and Saturn is coming out of retrograde, and as he goes direct on the 19th, we find that we are now able to exhale, and we're able to move into purposeful, conscious, mindful action. Last month, Jupiter went direct, the giant awakened. This month, Saturn goes direct, the other big giant of the universe. And as these two energies are now going direct, you've got to imagine that they're putting their weight behind you. You're not trying to figure out how to get around them. They're putting their weight behind you. So much momentum can now start to happen. Why it is particularly beneficial, because it coincides with this full moon, with this beautiful harvest moon energy. Now, as you know, I do Vedic astrology. So this full moon that we have is in Kumbha. It's the 11th sign, and Kumbha is run by Saturn. So now you can see the synchronicity, you can see the elegance, you can see the beauty as it all just ties up so together. This message of the full moon is go within and see whether you like what you've harvested. Reflection and introspection. As Saturn comes out of retrograde, introspection and reflection is just a very, very exquisitely elegant energy that we have right now. Very, very beneficial energy for us to be in a space of connecting with who we are and all that is. So what are we supposed to do with this energy? How do we apply it practically? Well, first off, sometime tomorrow, please go and stand underneath the full moon. It's not going to happen again until we get to 2049. Full moon in this particular harvest moon on a Friday 13, not going to happen again for 21 years. And think of this as a performance review of the last 5 months. We don't want to just see our progress. We also want to understand the process that we followed and tweak where necessary. Be mindful where necessary. What worked, what didn't work. And what worked, we want to keep so that we can magnify and amplify. And what didn't work, don't go into a space of how dreadful I am and how awful I am and I'm never going to get this right and it's just pointless. We want to be in a space where we allow ourselves to get ready for new chapters by releasing the old. We can write new stories as we're moving forward. Remember, we've got the two giants that are going to be behind us. Who knows what magnificent stories we can write? But we can only do that if we put the old chapters away. And so this is why it is a period where everyone is telling us, release, let go, clean house, introspection and reflection. So this is where we are. This is what this energy is for us. It is a very beautiful energy. It is an invitation to go within, sit in the in-breath, go into the gap of the silence, and then come out into mindful, conscious action. I hope that you found this useful. I know it was a very, very quick energy report. I will be back with you really, really soon because we have some exciting happenings in the next 2 weeks. But I think this is enough to be getting on with. If you enjoyed this video, please share, please hit like, please follow. If you would like to know how all of this energy relates to you and your unique situation, get hold of me at the Soul Lighthouse. I do Vedic astrology, Vedic psychology, and it has been my absolute joy to spend this time with you. It has been wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back with you real soon. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. Bye for now. Now I've got to see how I can turn everything off, so bear with me. The joy of having technology around you is you've got to figure out what is where and how to stop it. There we go. Bye for now.